and welcome to Studio
Set
Stage, a weekly podcast with us, Cynthia Mallard,
and Marq, where we take you from the studio to the set to the stage
in the world of entertainment.
Hello and welcome back to Studio Set Stage with me, Cynthia Mallard.
and Marq.
Hey guys, we are back and
Yes.
so excited. Like I said, we're kind of slow going, but we are here. We want to say thank you to all the people who have reached out to us, talking about the podcast and just all like the posts that we're doing about Studio Set Stage.
Yes.
So kudos to you. Kudos to me.
Yes.
We are in this thing for the long haul.
Yes, we are. And again, this is a platform, a podcast that takes you from the studio to the set to the stage in the world of entertainment. And also, this is a lifestyle brand. So definitely so glad you guys could join us for the ride. And Cynthia, definitely congratulations to you for just doing the work and following through on things and just really creating this beautiful set.
But you know what? We are creators, and so one of the things that some people don't know about, I like to decorate a little bit.
Yeah, the set is nice.
So I've kind of put this together as we go on a little bit further.
Right.
I'm sure, like our podcast, just like anything else, will develop. Let's talk about now. I was going to tell you, this week has been like so crazy. I always say like the weeks, every day, like there's something coming out that pertains to like Studio Set Stage, right?
Right.
And I know, like I was thinking, we are all have been heartbroken just kind of about the occurrence that happened this week.
Oh yes, a lot of different events, especially with the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Last week she passed. At the still young age of 76.
Wow.
But her career spanned 6 decades. And she was labeled Lady Soul. But overall, the Queen of Soul, and how her music just impacted an entire genre and generation. And
I remember
just expanded
we were
it.
talking. I think we were talking just off air about. I remember my mother. I remember just in New York City, our small, like tiny apartment in New York City. I remember just seeing like my mother's collection of Aretha Franklin albums. We were talking about like we all had the same albums. We heard our parents playing them every single day.
One album I definitely remember was her gospel album, which made history. I think it was released back in 1972. Wow. Amazing Grace.
Wow. Oh my God. And what a work of art.
I remember my grandmother, my dad, my mom, every Sunday they would play that album
in Tuskegee, right?
Oh yeah, in Tuskegee.
Oh my gosh,
definitely.
And I remember my favorite off of that album, I have to say, was Holy, Holy, Holy. And I think I told you that for some reason, for me, and I don't know, people who are listening, watching us, I actually, when you play that song by Aretha Franklin, for some reason, I just felt like it was like hearing God or hearing angels on that particular song. That was just for me.
Oh yes, definitely. That song actually was written by Marvin Gaye.
Oh wow.
But also another song. I mean, You'll Never Walk Alone.
Yeah. That's your favorite on the album?
Mary, Don't You Weep.
Yeah.
But another song I really loved was Precious Memories, and that makes me think, because I think my mom and Aretha was the same age.
Wow.
And I really remember they would play that song, Precious Memories. But nevertheless, I mean, she had many other hits. Of course, everybody knew RESPCT, Respect. And also, Think. You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman.
It's so many.
The list goes on and on. Rock Steady. Young, Gifted, and Black. A lot of different things. Daydreaming.
All of them. Wow.
Oh yeah. Well, we're just growing up around that. There's no way you could not be influenced, and she definitely influenced a lot of artists of this generation, especially like Alicia Keys.
You know what's interesting to me?
People,
Of course, all of us, millions of us, were watching, I think, CNN's coverage, right?
Oh, yes.
Of just kind of people who were like weighing in, people who knew her and things like that. So we're talking about like her music right now, right?
Yes.
But if you didn't know, like Aretha had so many facets of her life. It's something that you know, like one could stand on its own.
Right.
Like she really was a social activist, and a lot of people like don't know that.
Yes, that's true.
Like she helped. She was in the middle of the civil rights movement.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She wasn't just, you know, a singer. People are like, oh, she's just a singer. No. She understood, and she was in the civil rights movement. She was part of pushing it forward. So I just take my hat off to her.
Yeah, she definitely she would travel with Dr. King. From what I saw and what I learned, she would travel with Dr. King on, you know, different things they were doing.
She was an actor
Marq,
also. Think about that. She was an actor.
Yeah, I think she was in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
and she played that waitress, that feisty waitress. She also was a host, and she was very funny. And from what I understand, she loved to like really have fun. She wanted to always be surrounded by her friends.
Yeah, you know? She definitely had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
From what everybody talked about, she was good friends with Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
And Smokey Robinson was talking about that, and I think on CNN about that. But definitely, she has left a legacy.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, which I mean, you have to be on another planet not to know about Aretha Franklin, but definitely study her, Google her, listen to her, stream her music. Definitely, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know what? Salute to Aretha Franklin, but we also heard, you know, speaking of Aretha Franklin, like I think Madonna, right, did a tribute to her at the VMAs and caught like so much flack, and rightfully so. Because when I first heard, I was like, Madonna's gonna do a tribute to Aretha Franklin. I was like, this is about to be a disaster, and we were right.
Well, from what media
I did call it a disaster.
did put out, they did say, with Madonna, but I'm sure there's going to be many more, and I think they're planning a major tribute to her. I think in the next month or two.
Well, I think that the case was made is that when she got up there, she did her thing. It's okay to get up there and do your rendition or whatever, but for you to get up there and make it like all about your career and who you are, and then looking the way she was looking, and I think that was kind of unacceptable.
Right. Well, you know, some people, you know, are big Madonna fans, and probably she wanted. I know she was definitely a big fan of Aretha. So
she just went about it the wrong way.
Yeah,
I gotcha. Gotcha.
You know, sometimes it's like that. You know, this hasn't been anything new. I mean, in the past, we saw how tributes, even though they were with good intent, but like they say, the road to hell was paved.
The road to hell is paved with
good intentions.
Great intentions, and you're still going on to hell.
Right. Well, it could be like, oh, wow, really? Okay. Well, moving on.
Never surprised. Yeah. So I know you were involved in some other things coming up, right?
Yes. I would like to take just a moment, give a shout out to all of the graduates at SAE Atlanta. That's School of Audio Engineering, which I teach entertainment business.
Congrats
over there.
To
so
you
congratulations, guys. They just had their graduation recently. So looking forward, you know, to seeing some budding minds, you know, that's gotten this newfound, you know, knowledge to go out there and achieve their goals and tackle and make their dreams come true.
It's like a free bird. They've been in the cage, you know what I'm saying? They've been taught. Yeah. And now you guys are like releasing them. So what has it been like for you just teaching entertainment biz and stuff like that at SAE?
Well, you know, it's definitely been a great journey. And actually being able to give knowledge and extend that out to those that are willing and they're there. They want to invest in their future. They want to invest in making their dreams come true.
You know what? It's so interesting because we talk about we're talking about music right now. Our podcast is it's studio set stage, and it seems like we meet like really young people, like people who have never been in the business.
Yes,
like the first
all
thing
the time.
they come to me. I've had interns when I worked at like radio stations or whatever, and they're just ready to hit the stage. They're ready to do the performance, and then you talk about like what you teach, the business, right?
Yes,
and they have no clue.
They don't. And this thing is always an end result.
Yeah.
Normally what they get when you see on TV, media, what you hear on the radio, what you hear, when you download that song on your on your iPhone, you're going to hear the end result. Right. But they don't understand that that's at, where like they say 0 to 100, that's at 0.100 when they hear it or see it. Mm-hmm. They don't understand what it takes to start, to make the first step. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that comes down to making sure that you handle your business. And it has been created by design, to say, well, oh no, you focus on your craft, your entertainment, and we'll handle the business. But that's been done by design. Mm-hmm. But those that are most successful have grasped the concept that it is a business first. Yeah. And, that's not anything new. Yeah. But you look at over the past, like we talked about Aretha, for example. Yeah. One key to her success, and I think she's mentioned it on occasions in the past, that when she understood that, okay, this is a business, and even though it's unorthodox, there are no rules, but there is a process.
There's a process, and I was just thinking, you made me think of, when you say the business, you know what, when I first got, like, say my first radio job, my first business job, it's when you say business, like decode, like we need to decode business, because you always hear about business, but to me, and what I've learned is business is about money. Business is about money. It's about the organization, and it's about the organization for you to get to the money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So, when people say business, oh, I'm in the business, but it's about the money. I got my first gig. I wasn't worried about the money. I just wanted to be on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that followed me through life until I met somebody who taught me. So it's about the money, right?
Yeah. Initially, with any business, or if you set up any model that's developed around that. Yeah. I also teach entertainment business models, and one of the things that it focuses on in developing that model for the business, the bottom line is to find ways to generate revenue.
Get that cash, baby. Yeah.
You definitely want to generate revenue, but at the same time, you also want to make sure that it's your craft and what you believe in is rooted in that, but understanding that's part of it too. Is making sure that you understand that process of the business to help take care of the craft.
Aretha Franklin, at one point, I'll go back to this, talk about the business and the money. They said that she wouldn't even go on stage. Right? Now, of course, this is all true. Artists, anybody who does business, she would not hit the stage unless she had her money. And they said that, I think it was, I don't have all the correct details, but they said that she had learned it from James Brown. And so if you would bring the bag and it had the money in the bag, so she would put that, once she got the money, her bag, the money in the bag, she would put it up under the piano, and as long as the bag was under the piano, she would continue to play. I'm telling you, that literally knocked me off of my feet. Like,
realize, especially in entertainment, most of your gigs and mostly throughout your career, you're going to have to deal with contracts.
You want a contract.
You got to deal with contracts.
Hey, you want a contract.
Right.
Okay, contracts equal dollar signs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So and that's one of the things, getting back to when I teach students or instruct students, is to understand that and not get caught up in the illusion. I mean, naturally, you just want to get the technical aspect to what you naturally are able to do.
Right.
And that's really when you now start to develop that and you see that, then you be like, okay, all right, I'm getting the technical aspect to what I already do.
Yeah. I think you know what, just piggybacking on that, I do believe that like people are afraid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're afraid.
Fear
Sometimes
is there.
you're not aware of the money, you're not aware of the contracts, you're not sure how to get the contract.
Right.
So I think that plays a big part in it. And so people just say, well, I don't know anything about that, I'm just going to stay over here.
Yeah. And they think it might be too, oh man, this is too cumbersome.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to invest the time and you have a passion for it, then you owe it to yourself, and you need to definitely put that emphasis on learning that, because that will enable you to be consistent in doing your craft and doing what you love. That's why you hear a lot of these unsungs and behind the musics, is because
they didn't know the business.
They did not understand
they
that.
Did not, exactly.
You know,
right. and somebody else walked away with the bag.
Oh man,
basically.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So understanding about your publishing, understanding where it starts, even with the copyright.
Right.
Like understanding the music that you create. Like I come in contact with a lot of young producers, aspiring producers and artists and composers, and they write. Well, the first step, learn about copyright.
Get your stuff protected.
Protect yourself.
Yeah.
Get the exclusive rights to your music.
Right.
You know, because that can lead to other opportunities. You know,
or pitfalls if you don't do it.
Pitfalls. Definitely. Pitfalls. Horror stories. You know, there are some artists, you know, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but
why not?
You
Throw
know,
them under the bus. We like throwing people under the bus. That's what we do.
Just
not here on
All
Studio.
right.
Not,
Really?
not here on Studio Set Stage.
Studio Set Stage, where we gonna set you up.
They
no,
just throw people under the bus. No, we don't do that. But
Right.
I'm just
No, we just definitely want to shed light on things that you need to understand, especially if you're gonna be in this business. You know, it's not for the faint.
No.
You know, and like you said, money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen.
Right.
And in this world that we live in, society of capitalism, you know, you've got to understand how money works and how to utilize that in involve it with your God-given talents, you know, especially in this, because that's what it's based on.
Yeah, you're so right. You know what? Someone I think that really understands that, and the only reason why we're talking about them is because they are in the ATL this weekend, talking about Beyonce and her husband, Jay-Z. You see how I said Beyonce and her husband? I'm a woman, so I'm always thinking about the women. But the On the Run tour. The On the Run tour too is floating through Atlanta this weekend. So shout out to everybody who's got like their tickets and getting your outfits together, because I know I attended the Formation tour. Right. And when I say I was in formation, I was in formation. Oh, yeah. I had to go out and get the all white. I had to have the jewelry around my neck. I had to have the hat. And then when I got there, it was millions of other people there, thousands who were thinking the same way. We were all in formation.
Yeah, and they're going to be at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I think it's for 2 nights. They're doing August 24th and August 25th. Yeah. So definitely shout outs to Jay-Z, the Carters. Their project has been doing great, phenomenal. And
I listen to it every day.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite songs on the Carters is Friends. You know what? I was just thinking, that's some real writing. Like Beyonce, people throw shade at Beyonce all the time, but she's a writer, she's a vocalist, she's an entertainer, she's all encompassing. Love. Yes, I am. I'm part of the Beehive, okay? Whatever.
All right. Well, definitely. You did make that known.
Are you hating?
No, oh no.
Are you part of the Beehive?
No, I'm not.
You're not part of the Beehive.
But you know, I definitely give Queen Bee her props. You know, definitely, Jigga. I really always, man. I've been a Jay-Z fan since, you know, he started out back from Reasonable Doubt.
Right.
So you know, and definitely respect you know, his hustle. Yeah. You know, in terms of being able to navigate from where he started to now, and definitely he's left a legacy for his children's children going back and
well, you know what she says. You know what she says in the song.
That.
That's a lot of brown babies on your Forbes list because they're gonna have the empire. Her grandkids, great grandkids.
As we break it down, we would say trust fund babies.
Trust fund babies.
But
awesome.
It's beautiful. But also coming up, Labor Day is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
They will have their annual, and I think they've done it a couple of years now. But Jay-Z, they have the Welcome to America festival over in Philadelphia, and that's become in the last couple of years one of the top festivals in the nation. They're going to be highlighting, hip hop, just the whole culture, and they're going to be having Kendrick Lamar, Nas, I think Nicki Minaj, of course. Jay-Z and Beyonce will be there. Cardi B, and
can't wait to see Cardi, man. Isn't she like the best ever? Won her award at the VMAs and looked absolutely stunning, y'all. Post baby,
yes, indeed. Yes, you just had her little daughter.
Yeah, who we all thought was wrapped up in the blanket at the VMAs. I almost fell out of my seat when she actually pulled the award, the little moon man out. I was like, Lord have mercy. She done gave millions of people a damn heart attack across the world.
And that's part of it. It's
entertainment. I know. Talking about Kenya Barris. So if you don't know who Kenya Barris is, he's like the producer, the creator of the hit show Blackish. So if you don't know, and so many other projects too, but if you don't know, he actually inked $100 million deal with Netflix. Can you believe it? Wow. So congratulations to Kenya Barris.
Congratulations.
From what I understand, it said this basically, he's moving from like ABC over to Netflix or whatever, right?
Yes.
But from what I understand, like one of the episodes that was to air in Blackish, I think the executives at ABC didn't want that particular episode to air because it had the storyline was basically bashing President Trump. Yeah, so it's his.
Well, welcome to the club.
Show.
Everybody's,
exactly.
I don't think he's really doing anything to,
Yeah, but that's the rumor mill that it was tensions were really high, and so Kenya Barris was looking for an out, and Netflix basically just pulled them on over with $100 million overall deal. So I mean, it's just amazing how many of us, you know what I'm saying? Like we talk about the business, how many of us are really understanding the business when it comes to the film, to the set, to Hollywood.
Right. And again, Netflix is one of those. I mean, I just saw it recently where they were talking about the evolution over the last 10, 15 years where it used to be Blockbuster. Yeah. And at one time, Blockbuster had the opportunity to purchase Netflix.
God, I bet they're kicking themselves right now. Jesus Christ.
Now, Netflix is all over the world, and Blockbuster only have one store. They have one store in Oregon. Right.
So it's streaming is just the future. I was just reading. I mean, of course, everybody has been keeping up with this, but Netflix is literally taking over. I know with us, like we cut the cord. You know what I'm saying? And now, we're on the Hulos. We're on the Netflixes. You know what I'm saying?
The Fire Sticks.
We
Amazon.
Got the Fire Sticks.
Alexa.
Shonda Rhimes, for instance, she, inked $1 million deal. Also, I think she's got like 8 to 9 series that are going to be cranked out through Netflix.
Right.
So.
Actually, her deal was actually was one of those that set the precedent for those other deals that's coming down the pipe for producers that have done successful shows, on the networks, on the network platform, but now has gone over to platforms because that is the new.
Well, you know what?
It is the new.
Piggybacking on what you said it's the new. So it's these people who are getting these deals. We have to always bring up the point that they are creators. They are creators.
Yes.
So like in this climate right now, like we've got Studio Set Stage and Studio Set Stage is relatively new. It's not new to us, in our minds, whatever, but it's new to everyone out here who's listening to us and watching. Right. But it's something that we wanted to create.
Yes.
Just to talk about, give our opinion, and help those who are coming behind us or
Yes.
whatever. So it's all about content creation.
Right. And like I said, I'm going to piggyback on that. It is. And in this platform, it is user generated content.
Right.
Content is king.
Yeah.
And when you have access to, say, YouTube, or you have access to iTunes, or even, being able to do webisodes, a lot of great deals have spawned off of the webisodes.
Yes.
Issa Rae, for example,
Yes.
Insecure, her deal with HBO was inked off of her doing webisodes on YouTube.
Amazing.
So
how exciting! I keep saying
right.
It's so exciting, but it
Yes,
really is,
it
because
is.
we run across people who are like, I don't want to get into the technology, the social media, or whatever. But that is the way of the future. And if you are not involved, and I hate to say it like this, if you're not involved, like, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be left
in the dust, because everything now is microwavable.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling a story in my class. We just ended a term this past week, and I was telling a story back when I was a teenager back in Tuskegee. I had a cousin owned a record store, and I remember he would go out and he would do, like a club or DJs, and he would have 2 Astro vans full of records.
Yeah, the crates. They were crates, right?
to just go out and do his. He would have 2 Astro vans, would go do his gig and come back. Now, all you need is laptop, Mac,
or just like your phone.
Yes,
that's all you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have a couple of hard drives about the size of this, which is a terabyte, in your book bag, and you can go out and do that now.
Yeah.
So having the technology is amazing, but sometimes the technology can move a little faster than the industry.
Yeah.
And certain things in there. So
look at Netflix. Netflix trailblaze.
Yeah.
Speaking of like television and film, we do know, like, we're in Atlanta, so we do know, like, the staple, the Bronze Lens Film Festival is actually kicking off this week, running through the weekend.
Okay.
I want to say shout out to them. What's up, Bronze Lens Film Fest? This is, I think, the 9th year that the festival has been held here in Atlanta. Right. Now, I have not made it to the festival every year, but I did attend twice. But it's an amazing film festival, which showcases lots of the up-and-coming directors, producers, writers, actors. It's just something that you just don't want to miss here in Atlanta.
Yes. Independent film. And speaking of that, Georgia has become the go-to. It remains in the top maybe 3 places for film, television production.
Yes.
And so I know in 2017, I think they mentioned that just the film industry, I think it garnered almost $9.5 billion.
I'll tell you from my standpoint,
that is
like,
major revenue.
My agent, like, it used to be a time when everyone's like, oh, you've got to go to New York. Oh, you got to go
Hollywood,
to LA or whatever. And just even with my coaches and in classes over the years, you've seen where actors are coming from LA, coming from New York, or coming from wherever to work here in Georgia, because lots of your television shows are actually shooting here.
Yes.
You've got,
that's true.
Some parts like Stranger Things, of course, everybody knows about The Walking Dead being shot here in Georgia.
Yeah.
Let's see, Black Lightning. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
The state.
We invite you just to join us, right?
Yes.
Like every week, we're going to try and have new episodes and new shows out for you every Friday.
Yes, every Friday, weekly. We're going to have this YouTube page. Also, Facebook. We also have our website, StudioSetStage.com. So, Studio Set Stage, at Studio Set Stage. It's that simple.
What's your name?
My name is Marq Dean.
And I'm Cynthia Mallard. Join us next week for Studio Set and Stage.
Take care. This has been a Studio Set Stage podcast production, copyright 2018, all rights reserved.